none. The total votes for was 352. The total against, as you saw, was 0. It required a 75% vote to pass under the bylaws, and it received 100% of the vote. I will deem this motion carried, and per the Society Act, we must immediately elect new directors. So this is something that the Society Act says. When you remove directors, because the KSA bylaws say that the quorum, there can be no less than 6 directors present. So we have a list that has been put together. So I will seek so I will turn the floor over to Jenny Campbell, because I believe she has a motion.
Hey everyone, I'm Jennifer Campbell. I'm the Langley Campus Director. So here is what I have to say in the motion. Wow, we'll follow. Now that we move the motion first. Okay, Derek wants me to make the motion first, so I'm going to make the motion first. Pursuant to Section 31 of the Society Act, and in response to the special resolution just adopted, be it resolved that Sunita Sohi, Arzo, how do you say it? Ansari, Hassan, Garamani, Devin Richards, and Chris Jordan be appointed as transitional directors into the Society. Be it further resolved that, notwithstanding any in the regulation, the provisional directors shall move as quickly as possible to hire a general manager, a chief returning officer, and to hold general elections as soon as possible. B. The provisional director shall only perform such functions and transact such business as is necessary to carry on the day-to-day operations of the Society. And C. It is expressly forbidden for the provisional directors to receive remuneration, for any other monetary thing for their services to the Society as directors.
They're going to work for free.
Yeah. All right. So you have heard the motion. Is there a seconder to this motion? Sophie Beal seconds the motion. I will, as there's no opposition to the last one, I will ask if there is any opposition to this motion. If they want to speak, there is 5 positions open for those who may be opposed to this motion to speak. So I will ask for you to raise your hand if you are opposed to this motion. Yes. Yes.
Is it a temporary
It's a temporary thing, and my response is that C in the being further resolved clause says that, A says that they will move quickly to hire the general manager, chief returning officer, and then hold a general election as soon as possible. So the bylaws currently say that we must hold a general election in February. I would presume one of the nominees. Yeah, I will let Chris speak to it in a second, but I would presume that general elections will take place earlier than February for an actual board of directors.
Anyone can run at that time?
Yes, anyone who is a member of the Society and in good standing of the Society has the opportunity to run. So is there any opposition? Currently, yes. There is a motion later on in the agenda that would prevent them from doing so. So that no applause, please. So is there anyone who wants to speak against this motion? I will ask a third and final time if there is anyone who wants to speak against the motion. Please put up your hand now, and I will give you the mic so you can speak.
the right head side.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Come on up.
I don't get that position. What was that amendment?
What's your amendment?
I'd like to clarify the date as soon as possible.
That is a good question. I will defer to Chris Giordano on that. All right. So the question was, what exactly is as soon as possible for a general election? So I'll allow Chris Giordano to answer this question.
Thank you. So what this motion is meant to do is to give us a transitional council. So transitional meaning this is really a stopgap measure because we're allowed to just not have directors. It's a stopgap measure for us to get from now until the general election. So as soon as possible means we're going to be looking for a general manager, we're going to be looking for a chief returning officer. Once those two objectives are met, because we need those to carry on day-to-day operations. We've been without a general manager for months, and this is why the executive board is able to exercise so much decision-making power over every aspect of the organization. So what we're looking to do is, as soon as our CRO has been hired, Chief Returning Officer, it's the chief administrator of an election, really. They're an independent third party that oversees the conduct of the election, makes sure there's no electoral irregularities. They're responsible for counting the ballots. They can't be someone from the outside who's actually hired a contract with that. And so as soon as possible means basically once we hire a CRO, as soon as that we can give notice for the election so that students have the opportunity to vote, I think it's 14 days. As soon as we can give that notice, that's when we're holding a general election. So it's probably going to be pretty early January actually, just because classes are going to be over in December before we're going to be able to do those. So that's that. Is that answer your question? Okay.
And then just the dates you made in that are kind of easy, and then why would have a problem now?
Would you like to propose an amendment to fix a date?
Yes.
All right, Tom, you got an idea? All right, so just help you out. All right, so what's that? Yes, but we have someone on every single fire alarm in this building, and today it is cut off from the other buildings for this very reason. So what happens is there's a 2-week nomination. What is it? It's Chris. It's 2 weeks nomination. Yeah. I will. All right. So 14 days notice that elections will happen. So to give people an opportunity to nominate themselves, just say, hey, we're holding this election, and then you have a 14-day nomination period, which you can nominate yourself and get all your friends to nominate you. And then there would be a 5 days polling, minimum of 5? Minimum of 4 days polling. So you're looking at late January to begin with, because the time period does not allow for the end of the semester. Yes. Now what we could do is say that the general election shall take place in, say, the first week of February. Period. Are you agree with that?
I move that the general elections take place the first week of February.
Second. All right, so we have a second from Jen Campbell. He needs your name. So the amendment to the appointment for the being further resolved clause was to actually mandate that the general election of the KSA take place in the first week of February. Does everybody understand that amendment?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the actual voting days. So what I will do... Discussion? Yeah.
Based on our rules and regulations, though, won't that affect the terms of the of the directors then? Like, is this a special resolution?
Well, my interpretation would be is that once the general election was held, so the transitional council would serve from now to the general election. serve out probably about the last 2 months of this term, and then they would start their term. So they would be in office for about 14 months. A little less than that.
Sorry, I think you should check with somebody who's very familiar with the Society Act. My background in it was they remain in place. Whoever's elected in the interim remains in place till the end of the term. So I'm not trying to cause any problems. Go for it, but let's make it work.
Okay, so we're gonna, okay, we know how we're gonna figure it out. All right.
So I actually agree with your interpretation, so I'm going to move an amendment.
Chairman, this has been a long day, as you are all aware. All right, so what's going to happen is we're going to vote on this amendment, and then Chris Giordak is going to move another amendment that we hope is what you want. And then you can tweak it if you see fit. All right, so is there any so is there any discussion on this motion?
I'm opposed to the amendment.
You're opposed to the amendment? Okay. We'll have you with it. All right.
I just had a question in regards to the hiring of the sort of this interim group. Are you going to hire a permanent position, or is that going to be a temporary position?
It is only temporary.
So the manager and whoever's going to be hired.
The CRO.
That's right. Are they hiring a permanent position? Like, are we bringing in a group for 2 months that's going to hire a permanent position? Wouldn't it make more sense for the group that's voted in to hire those people?
Okay. I can speak for the CRO. A CRO is required for a solo election, so that is a position that must be filled. When it comes to the general manager, if this body sees fit, they can move an amendment to, say that the transitional council gives a recommendation to the new board for who should be hired. So it is still the new board that decides who gets hired as general manager. Does that answer your question?